fundamentals. I'll not start with too much of the basic. So we have planned it for 2 days. It's actually a 6-day course. So first 2 day we'll have a essentials of JavaScript, which is required for React. So the next 2 days, next week 2 days, we'll have the React, and then the last 2 days we'll be having an advanced React, wherein we'll start looking at state management, Redux, and good programming practices of React and all. So that is how this course has been designed. So basically, this is an essential thing for you to get into any of the JavaScript libraries, whether it is an Angular or whether it is a React. So what is minimum required for you to enter into this frameworks? For that is how we have planned. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll have a quick recap of JavaScript. Okay, quick recap. So this was expected for you, so you to have this knowledge anyways. So let me give a quick recap. So JavaScript. So if I'm not audible, if any screen sharing issue is there, please raise a hand or just send me a chat, or you can unmute and then you can speak. Okay. Yes. So JavaScript, basically, as the name itself says, it is a scripting language. Okay. All this I'll be pushing it to the Git. The README, you don't need to take the entire stuff. Cross-platform. Okay. Dynamically typed. Okay. Loosely typed also language. So JavaScript basically scripting language, cross-platform. So actually, when you say cross-platform, the script what you write can be taken onto any operating system or any application and execute as long as the application has a JavaScript engine. So we'll talk about JavaScript engine little later. So basically what we are trying to tell is JavaScript is a scripting language. That means we don't have an overhead of compilation. Then after compilation, execution phase. Straight away, the code is interpreted by the engine. Okay. So no unlike C, C++ or Java, which needs compilation, this doesn't need a compilation. Dynamically typed at runtime, based on the literal what you are passing, it assumes the type of a data. Okay. So initially it can be a string type. Later on, the same data member can start behaving like a Boolean, or it can start behaving like a numerical type. That is what we call it as a loosely typed. So JavaScript is scripting language plus cross-platform. So dynamically typed and loosely typed. So what this stuff is like cross-platform and all, let me just explain that. Yeah, I'm trying to share the whiteboard now. Hope this is visible. Yes, white screen now. Now see, so basically you will start writing the JS code. Okay. Now this, I can take it to any of the browser like Chrome, or I can take it to Firefox. Okay. Or I can take it to Node.js. Okay. Or even your Adobe tools like Acrobat and all. Okay. Now your JavaScript can run on any of these things. So what is common here is on all of these applications, there is a JavaScript engine. So this code, any target application, if it has to execute, needs to have an engine. So Chrome has an engine, Firefox has an engine, Node.js has an engine, Adobe Acrobat has an engine. So if an application has an engine, it can execute JavaScript code. Okay, what is the role of a JavaScript engine? So here, now I think sharing, is there a way to share the entire desktop? Okay. Okay. So engines, job of JavaScript engine is take the code, pass it to JavaScript engine. Engine is going to parse your code and convert into AST. So AST basically abstract syntax tree. So your full code will be converted into AST. So that AST will be interpreted by the engine now. Okay. So when it is interpreted, that gets converted to the machine language. Okay. Is it clear? That is the flow. So JavaScript engine's job is to take the JavaScript code, convert that into an AST. AST will be engine will start interpreting. The interpreted code will internally get converted to machine language. That interpreting depends on the target. If it is a Mac, it will convert it into Mac instructions. If it is a Windows, it will convert it into Windows instruction, or it could be on any of the device. That is how your JavaScript has become a cross-platform. Okay, each interpreter will convert it into different machine languages depending on the target where you are executing. So various engines are available. So we have V8 is the most popular engine developed by actually Google. This is what is used in Chrome browser, as well as Node.js uses V8. So V8 engine developed by Google is what will be used in the Chrome as well as Node.js. Okay, Node.js is tomorrow's session is all about Node.js. Then we have SpiderMonkey. Okay. SpiderMonkey is what is used by Firefox. Okay. Then actually on top of SpiderMonkey, so Adobe people have added their own specialization, which is what is used in Acrobat Professional, Acrobat Reader. They all uses this. So it's built on top of a SpiderMonkey. Like that, Nashorn is another engine, which is what is used by most of Java based applications. Okay. So actually Nashorn developed by Oracle. If you want to run your JavaScript on Java based application, we have a Nashorn. Then we have a Chakra, so which is by Microsoft, which is what is used by IE. Of course, even they are dropping now. Edge and all, they want dropping, and they are also going for a V8. They don't want to maintain a separate engine. So these are some of the engines available, popular engines I'm talking about. What is their job? Take the JavaScript code, parse it into AST tree. So then that will be interpreted. The interpreted code will in turn get converted to a machine language. Okay. So this is how your code executes on the target machine. So anywhere we have an engine means there we can execute a JavaScript code. Okay. So any questions on this JavaScript engine?
One question here.
Yes, Vinayak.
EFT will be interpreted by the engine. So
Yes.
how this interpretation happens on the each machine?
That is interpretation, and means you will have to pass this code to the engine, right?
There will be an interpreter on each OS of the machine. How it is?
No, 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 no. Engine itself is acting like an interpreter. Now,
Okay.
engine itself is an interpreter. Okay. So it is two things in one. First, parse your code. Okay. Parsed code, it converts it into AST and tokens. So it is converts it into tokens. How does it convert it into tokens? Based on internally, it has some keywords, operators, operands and all. So it will have like totally how many tokens are there. It is nothing but sort of a nodes and all. So in each node, whether it is, this is actually an operator, this is an operand, like that, it will convert it into, and whether it is a number, like assigning values. So it will convert everything and keep it, and then it will start interpreting line by line. This is also done in the engine. So these are all various engines. Okay, each one specialized in their own way. Actually, if it is a very heavy graphics based application, SpiderMonkey is excellent. Otherwise, V8 is the most optimal engine, which is preferred by most of the developers. Okay, yeah. So unless you are too much of a graphic specific, then people don't go for a SpiderMonkey. They prefer a V8 engine. Okay, yeah. Any other questions, Vinay?
No, understood. Thank you.
Okay.
I have
Yes.
one question. This engines comes with the browser or with the operating system?
No, they come with a browser. Okay.
Browser. Okay.
Yes. Operating system. Look at this here. If I in my machine, if I
Mm.
open an Acrobat Professional,
Mm.
okay, there it is using its own type of an engine. If I open a Firefox, this is
Mm.
the engine used. If I
Okay.
open a Chrome, V8 is what is used.
Mm.
Correct, right? Hmm?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. If you are familiar with languages like Java, Java has a Java virtual machine, correct?
Mm.
Heard of it? Yes.
Yes.
So something similarly. Okay. Hmm?
Okay.
So something similar to JVM, we have a JavaScript engine. Got
Okay.
it? Okay. So they come with, see here, Node, if I install, Node has its own V8 engine. Chrome has a different V8 engine. So the V8 engine of a Chrome, little bit variant from that of a Node.js. Same V8 engine. On top of it, some tweaking has been happened in Node.js. Tomorrow we'll look at Node.js. I'll revisit on that V8 engine in Node.js.
Actually, I read like JavaScript engines are like only supported for the browser only, but Node.js is an
No, no,
exception.
no. See, yeah, that is why I wanted to make sure that I introduce this also
Hmm.
to eliminate the doubt what you have.
Okay.
Got it? Okay. So why I'm so confident here is I do training for Adobe for their own specific Acrobat Professional and all. We program for Acrobat Professional. You might have seen that signature capturing as
Mm.
well as interaction on PDF files and all. You might have seen that, right?
Yes.
So that is also JavaScript actually. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so JavaScript is running on even on there. That's what it's built on top of it. They tweaked in to handle their own specific APIs. Are there no Adobe specific APIs? So they have added on top of it to make it work on Acrobat Professional, Dreamweaver. So there are many applications where JavaScript is used. So don't. That is what first thing I wanted to eliminate you guys from knowing that JavaScript don't limit it to web. It's
Yeah.
beyond. This is actually the future. Okay, yeah.
Sure.
So to clarify, I was a pretty hardcore Java guy. Till a decade back, I was very much hesitant to get into JavaScript. Only when I started into this, okay, then I started to think how vast it is, how application based. You think of anything, you can use JavaScript. Okay, so that
Okay.
is the first thing I just wanted to make it clear. Okay, good
Okay.
more. Yes. Okay then. So this is how now the engines are going to interpret and then execute it. Okay.
I have one question.
Yes.
So, yeah. So regarding this AST, what you told, is it also like you can say platform independent, or it's platform dependent
So
when the engine?
ASTs, please see, ASTs and tokens are platform independent, meaning, in fact, you can take the AST and token and look at compare on different engines or different platforms or architecture. It looks alike. How does it come? That is the specification. So, so let me write it here. So record it. AST and tokens are generated by specification. There will be specification. No, who is going to give the specification? ECMA. For JavaScript, it is ECMA. Like European Computer Manufacturers Association, they specify, okay, JavaScript syntax is like this. These are all keywords. These are all the operators. Somebody should give you a specification. No, So that is what we in Java JavaScript. These are the guys who are giving the specification called as European Computer Manufacturers Association. Just like, for example, for C Sharp, your Microsoft is the one who is going this specification. For Java, Oracle, earlier it was Sun, now it is Oracle. So somebody has to give the specification, no? Got it? So based on these specifications provided by them, ASTs and tokens are generated. Got it?
Yes, yes.
Is it clear? Yeah. So that is how it has to be a standard now. So now why this is again, you will have to be specific. Now what we are looking at initial part of it. So first part of our training will be ECMA 5. Post lunch will take ECMA 6. So this is also known as JavaScript version 5. Okay. Meaning if you are using a JavaScript version 5, they would have given the specification. This all forms the token. Got it? Is it clear? So
Yes,
based
yes.
on that, the tokens and ASTs will be created. Hope that's clear now. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's completely
So,
similar as Java bytecode also, I can say. I mean, it's platform independent.
you can say this. After this, it looks like your bytecode. That's what bytecode is portable. Perfect. 100%.
Yes.
You can compare that. You can call this as the interpreted code can be called as a bytecode also. You can use the terminology also, because again the bytecode will be converted to a machine language, very much similar like Java or C# or JavaScript. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Next. Now, quickly looking at a few things here. Now, first session, I'm very much specific about ES5, that is JavaScript 5 version. Okay. The features I'm explaining. Okay. Then I'll add up JavaScript 6 version. Quickly look at it. Now, variables in JS5 has two scopes. That is global and function scope. Okay. So I'll just write a code here. Variable A equal to 100. Now I'll write a function test, or I'll just say add x comma y. Now here variable sub equal to 0, x sum equal to x plus y. Okay, return sum. Now look at this. So if I have something like here, this variable is a global variable. I can access it anywhere within this function also, or outside of the function, correct? Whereas sum, x and y are local to add. This x and y cannot be accessed outside of this add. Very much similarly, sum cannot be accessed outside of this add. So for example, if I say here console.log, okay, yeah, I should be able to get it. This will be an error, correct? Any questions on that?
No.
That is pretty simple, right? Straightforward. Yes. So if you're clear with this, now just answer this, then we are good to go into the next one. Say, I will have a function do task. Here, I will declare one function if a is greater than 10 or greater than, we'll say 2. Here, var b is equal to 15. Here, yeah. Now, can you tell me what will be the output of here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one by one. Here, is this valid? 74th line.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
valid. So naturally, it has to print
10.
1 followed by 10.
10.
Correct. Perfect. Now, is this valid?
Yes.
Looks like correct. Yeah. Okay. So here, perfect. Okay. So 2, B 15. Okay. Now here 3,
Undefined.
Not valid.
not valid.
Undefined.
Okay. Yeah, good. That is why I took this topic to clear away all your doubts. This will be 15.
Function scope. Yeah.
Function scope.
That is what you need to know in JavaScript. There are only 2 scopes, I told you, no? Either a global or it will be a function scope, no block scope. So that is the first thing I wanted to eliminate. Okay, we'll come to another variant of it. 4, definitely you should be able to get it. This is an error, correct?
Undefined. Yeah.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, now small change here. Now look at this here. Here, I will make it as 20. Now, of course, this doesn't print. Correct, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, this doesn't print. Okay, I'll write one more variant here. Okay, so because to trace it back when I share it, you can have. Okay, now it is 20. Now look at this. This doesn't get printed. This doesn't get printed. But what will be the output in the 3?
Here error. So variable is not initialized.
Variable is not at initialized.
NaN.
Variable B is not declared, or how is it?
Not a
NaN.
NaN. Okay. Yes. Anyone else?
Undefined.
Undefined. Correct. Perfect. Yes. So what actually happens here is, look at this, guys. Okay. So now I'll add to, with this, I'd like to explain the stages of how exactly our code works. Let me take this code out. I'll just use this. I'll not write console.log and all, just to keep it in the brevity. Okay. Okay. Now, let me take this part of a code. Now, I'm going to the whiteboard. I'll have to share it. Okay, share whiteboard. Okay. Yes, so hope you can see the whiteboard now. Okay, now there are 2 phases, okay, in JavaScript within engine. One is, okay, creation phase and execution phase. Okay, so 2 phases of JavaScript, how it works. So creation phase and execution phase. Okay, first, what actually happens is, in the creation phase, again, we will have global execution and function execution. Okay, so 2 things within create. So first, or execution phases again could be global execution or function execution. Okay, first thing, let's take here the global execution. Okay. In this, what actually happens is, first, always it creates a global object called as window. So one object, global object will be created, which is a window. Okay. So equivalent of that is actually, or we'll say global object. Here I'll say window, that will be better. Window. So first global object is created. So what actually this does is, if it is running on the browser, it will execute where window equal to new window. This is the global object. Got it? First line always within an engine which is going to get executed creates a global object. If it is a node, if this same code is running on a node where global equal to new global. Got it? So this is the first line of execution always within the engine. Got it? Now let me go to the Chrome browser. So just see this here. This is the problem here. Every time I like to keep sharing. Chrome is not visible now, right?
It is visible.
It is visible.
Yes.
Your
Okay,
whole desktop is visible.
Okay, perfect then. Okay. Yes, great then. Okay, so it makes my life easy now. Yeah. Yeah, small change. Now I'll just say window. Look at this. Can you see? Here, this object is readily available. It says window is of type window, W capital. So first object which is getting created is a window object of type window. So that is what has actually happened now. So same thing, different engines has a different name for the global object. So if it is within the browser, it is a window object. If it is running on a Node.js, it is global. Even if it is an Acrobat Professional, it is actually a global. So global is the global object for Acrobat Professional, Node.js and all, whereas in a browser, window is the global object. So first it creates this particular window object. Then what actually happens here is, okay, so this I'll call it as creation phase. So I'm talking about the creation phase. What is actually happening here is, first it creates a window object, then it will have this. So it will have this. This is a context. Okay, this pointing to window. This is the current context. Actually, this will be a pointer to the current object. So current object, which is current context, is window now. So if I say here within the browser again, I'll come back to this. Look at this. When I say window, it is giving me this details. If I say this is again a window. Is there any difference in the output between a window and this? It's the same thing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that is what is the first thing which has happened. It has created a window and said that current context, whenever you are referring any object, now it is actually the window object. That is what is this. Next, it creates one more A undefined. If anybody doesn't know what is undefined, please stop and let me know, because I'm assuming few things, like few basic things. I'm not going to the so minute of JavaScript, some basic knowledge assuming you have. Like as of now, a placeholder is created, no type of a data is there in this. So just it creates a variable called as A At this stage, it is undefined, no value in it. And finally, then there is another one. It will have a function which is do task. Okay. So this is what will be there first phase. Got it? So first phase, it is only about creations. Are you getting it, guys? Any questions? At this point of time, apart from this, no other variable has a value. So what actually it does is this one, sorry, here, let me delete this. This will internally point to the function definition here. So function definition alone will be put on the heap. Okay. So function definition, the code, that is nothing but the do task. Whatever is the code present in this, that it will dump it in the heap. We should be very careful here. JavaScript is very strange. So people coming from Java, C# and all, they know CDS, they know JVM, class data, perm generation, heap, stack and all. So unlike that, JavaScript is an entirely different word. Even the function definition has been dumped on the heap area here. So now do task is just a pointer to the function definition. It has not executed. In the creation phase, A points to a variable is created. Some placeholder is created. Currently, it has no value. In JavaScript, if there is no value, it is called as a undefined. So here, no data inside this. That is what is undefined. Got it now? Any questions on the first phase? So in a creation phase, always first a global object is created. It will be window in our case in the browser for this training, except tomorrow Node.js, it will be a global object. Other than that, every time when we go into React also, the global object is a window. So then it will create this pointer which will point to the same window. So that is the current context, which object, global object you are referring to. So that is a window. Then here, two references are there, A reference and function reference. Placeholders are created at this point of time. For A placeholder in the heap is created. Okay. Now, actually, A is a member of window. Please understand. I can say this dot A, you will get 10. Window dot A, you will get 10. Got it? So global variable here. Are you getting my points? So in the output, if I say window dot A or this dot A, I should get 10 after placing this code in the browser. Got it? So do task or window dot do task will give me the same function definition, or this dot do task also will give me this function definition. So that is done. Then after that, then it goes to the execution phase. Any point if you are getting confused, let me know. Now, what actually happens is once this is done, based on this tokens and all are created, now the engine has to interpret. When it is starting, when it starts interpreting, okay. So after creation phase, first what it does, still this part of it, okay, I'll write once again. So still we have window referring to window, okay, that it will still take that this window, it's not newly created, rather, okay, A10 will be there. Then you have function do task. Apart from that, okay, do task. Or, okay, will not write this. I'll keep it simple. So this part, as of now, what we have, the variable value 10 is assigned to A now. So you are placed here 10 here. Got it? Then do task has to be executed. This particular line, it will let us to execute. No. When you say do task here, that do task again goes into two phase. So the next one is function. Okay. Hope I'm not confusing you. Intention is not to confuse. Okay. 1 second. Function creation phase now. Okay. So next stage is function creation phase, wherein, so the execution phase of the global has internally started the function creation phase, wherein function do task, what it will do, it will take this, will still be window. This will copy it on here. So this reference of the parent is taken here. Within this do task, still if I say this, it will refer to window. Any questions?
It will refer to the parent window?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So so until and unless you have, as of now, you are not changed the context. So currently, as of now, this still refers to window, no parent. So if I'm running this code in Node.js, this will refer to global. Right now, I'm referring to browser. No, still within this do task, if I use this, it is referencing to window. Is it clear, Shravani?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Next, then it creates B now, which will be undefined. Now notice this carefully. Okay. Irrespective of the condition, it is not even bothered to evaluate the condition. If A greater than 20 or A less than 20, none of it matters now. Looks at this. So this way, there is a variable called as a B within the do task. I will have to create outright, because this is the creation phase, not the execution phase. Got it right? So people who are coming from strongly typed languages and all, and structured ones like C, C++ and all, you would be completely lost in JavaScript if you don't know these stuffs, how it is working. And now notice this. Hey, this condition is false. Where the hell the B is getting created, you may wonder, because how internally it works is creation phase, it will go scan through your complete AST, where all variables are there, straight away it creates. So this is what is called as hoisting. So this stage, the variable B, here will be hoisted. This terminology is called as hoisting. Hope my writing is fine. Hoisting. So even though you have written it in the block, the variable is hoisted at the time of function creation itself. This B variable exists now. Got it? Is it clear? Then there is arguments created. So every function will have an object called as arguments. Every function. Okay. Now, as the name itself says, whenever you invoke a function, so for example, let me come back to this. If you are not able to see the Sublime text, you let me know. Suppose if I write a function, okay, add x comma y comma z. Okay. Now within this, if I say console.log arguments, okay, here when I say add 5 comma 4 comma 10, now arguments will be nothing but 5, 4 and 10. Okay, got it? So it will be actually this dot arguments. It'll add it to the object now. Got it? Is it clear? Now, anything you passed, so internally it will store it into an arguments now, irrespective of whether it is 1 parameter it takes or 10 parameters, anything what you pass, everything will be in an arguments array. So that is what every function will have it. So you can make use of this. It's a very utility, like in case if you want to traverse through all the arguments and process it, so you can really make use of this particular member. Any questions in this function creation phase? So the function creation phase takes the reference of the outer context because you are executing from the global scope. So this is carried on to the function. Within function, this still refers to window. But when you say B, okay, B as of now is created, it is undefined, and arguments is created, it is kept. As of now, the values of B and arguments are blank, undefined, you can say, because it is still not gone to the function execution phase. So in the next phase is what you will have. So next phase will be function execution phase. Okay. Sorry. This is where the value of B. So right now, what happens? A greater than 20, A greater than 20, it will not be evaluated. B still will be undefined. If I give it as 2, here it will be 15 like this, whatever the value you have assigned here. Got it? Is it clear? So this could be undefined, or still it could be you could be 15 based on the condition. Got it? Is it clear? Any questions here? Are you getting it, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now,
Yes. Yeah.
this is execution stack, what we call it as. Then in JavaScript, there is something called as a call stack. Call stack is just a reference to the current execution stack. Whether it is a function stack which is getting executed, whether it's a global stack which is getting executed, that is what we call it as a call stack in JavaScript. So do not confuse the execution stack with call stack. Unlike other languages like Java, in Java, the complete method, or whether you talk about JavaScript or C++, complete method will be pushed on the stack. Correct, right? Yes, if you have done any C++ or Java, when you invoke a method, method goes to the stack. Agreed?
Yes.
Correct, no? Here, look at this. Unlike that, this stack is on the heap area. Strange, right? Where are my variables created? On the heap area. Then what is the role of a stack in JavaScript is it is simply called as a call stack, basically to reference to which current execution is happening. Call stack will have a pointer to this. So if I call for example, so if I have a function A calls B, okay, B calls C like this. So if I have something like this, so now call stack will just have a reference, which is the current function which is getting executed. That's all. Okay. Got it? So it will not have the details. Where are the members and all? So basically, all the members will be actually on the heap area. Strange. It is very strange. You should know this because local variables in Java, C++, they all reside on a stack. Instance variables reside on the heap. They all, you might have studied it. Whereas in Java, every member is there only on the heap area. That is data. Call stack will just have a pointer of which is the current function which is currently executing. Okay. So any questions on that? Yes. Got it. 1 second. One second. One person is waiting. Okay. Yes. Any questions? Yeah. Can we move on?
Yes.
Are you guys got the basic idea of it? Of course, outright it will look difficult, but you need to understand like JavaScript engine, what are the phases actually happening? So what is a creation phase? At the time of a creation phase, variables are created. All variables will have like undefined function. Function definitions are put. Pointers to that function definition on the heap is all created. Only at the execution phase, now the values for the variables is assigned. So that is why here, when you talk about this, if I try to print the value here, console.log b, will this be valid?
It will be undefined.
Yeah.
Undefined.
Yes, but it's not an error. Correct. True. It works. It is undefined because what happens is creation phase would have moved this up here. It would have moved up. Creation phase would have moved up. So as of now, then it becomes declaration assignment. This is how it works here. Okay. Please be aware of that. Okay. So sometimes so strange things happens in Java. Okay, JavaScript, sorry. Can we move on? Yes. Yes.
When there will be an error?
When there will be an error is, this is an error.
Okay.
Correct, no? So no, in the execution phase, here, got it. So actually now, what actually happened here is, so now there is no specific variable, but the biggest problem here is, for this to make it as an error, you will have to use strict. That's another strange thing in JavaScript. Because if you start using, hey, I'm using something here. Please look at this. So he's using B. Hey, I don't have a B here. Correct?
Correct.
What it will do is, it will go to the outer context and check out, hey, do you have a B here? For example, if I say A comma B, it doesn't have an A. Correct?
Yes.
So it will go to the outer context and get me this. That's the scope pointer. It keeps going up. But for B, hey, I don't have. Okay, I will create it for you. So where do I want to create? Since you are not explicitly done, I will put B for you in the global scope. This is what is the worst thing in JavaScript. So if you don't want this to happen, you will have to put use strict. It's very dangerous, no? You can see that how much of a danger. So if you start using any member, JavaScript engine says, oh, yeah, I think you need one member. I will create it and blindly it will put it on the global scope. So to explain more on that global, let me explain one more simple code. Okay, function do task. Okay, here I'll say C is equal to 100. I will invoke do task. So if I say console.log C, I get 100. Hope you got what I am trying to tell. Correct, right? Yeah, you did not put var. If I put var, it will be undefined or yeah, correct. Is it clear? So now if I don't put a var, that is what I explained here, this is what is actually happening. Oh, you don't have a B here, I'll put it in the global scope one member. So that is what has happened. So if you do not explicitly declare a variable, that member automatically becomes a global scope.
Okay.
Okay, so be careful about this. If you don't want this adverse effects in your application, make sure you put use strict here. So the engine you are telling, you don't take decisions for me. If you have, I have declared, you use that. You don't create it on your own. Okay, so I know what I am doing. So if anything is missing, you give me an error. Not you don't take the default behavior. So these are some of the things what basic coding you like to. I just wanted to explain with this. So scopes, execution stack, okay, and creation phase, and execution phase and creation phase, scopes. Any questions on that scopes so far? What we have done? Okay, I'm not going in a traditional way of JavaScript. This is basic stuff. Next, when we get into the other topics, we'll go in a sequential way. This just I wanted to give a quick recap on it. Any questions on the scope? Okay. Can we move on? Yes. So we'll do one thing. Next, I'll start with. So next session we'll have now object-oriented and functional style of a programming. We'll take it up now. Okay. So now we'll go in a proper sequence. So I just wanted to give a quick recap. Any other basic thing which you need to know before we get into OP and functional style of JavaScript? Okay. If you have anything, please let me know. Okay. Do one thing.
Actually,
Yes.
one participant is waiting. Like
Yeah, I think they gave me a clear instruction. Don't admit. Okay.
because of internet connect.
Okay. Ayush, is it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I'll admit it. Okay,
Sure.
fine. So we'll do one thing. So just take a 15 minutes tea break. After that, we'll move on to the next topic. Oh, is it okay? Yeah, 15 minutes. So take a 15 minutes break.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, we'll move on to yes. Yes, tell me.
Yeah, I have one question. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in JavaScript, contrary to what Java does, everything is in heap. Am I right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
local variables.
True, Vinay.
Functions.
Yes, true, Vinay. So that is what most of the people will not understand this. Then what the hell is stack doing? They will ask. Okay.
Just pointing to the
Exactly. So it is just that is why we just call it as a call stack, to having an history of call chains. So its job is only to have a call chain. Unlike our other traditional like C, C++ and all, you can clearly see if we start looking at the stack, you'll know local variables are all actually within the stack and all, correct? Whereas here, okay, so within this, I can have a code. So this is a simplest way of creating an object, okay? So you create an object. To that object, you can add a state, you can add a behavior, okay? So at any point of time, I can say obj.toTask, or I can say obj.x and obj.y. Very rarely we use it. So, okay. So temporary objects, if you want to do pass on multiple data to methods, you can use this. Very rarely we use this approach. So better approaches we'll get into now. Now, first, using function constructor. Okay, so we'll have hands-on from now on. I'll just show that. Okay, first look at this. Function keyword I'll write, followed by, I'll say book. Okay. Now, here, if I say title, comma price. Okay. Title, comma price, or parameters what this book takes. Okay. These two are the parameters. Within this, if I say this dot title equal to title, this dot price is price. Now, this is a way to specify or to differentiate object properties. Now, title is just a variable. It does not belong to an object. So if I say this dot title, so it means, so title belonging to the object, price belonging to the object. So we use a this to specify that it is an object property. Okay. So suppose if I have here var x equal to 10, x is not an object property. It is just a simple variable. Got it? Is it clear? So to specify that, we want to have an object property, we use this keyword. Any questions here? Now, so once you have this, to create a book, we say new keyword, new followed by the function. Look at this here. We have a function followed by book here. How is this different? Now look at this. Here also we have a function. Here also we have a function. So functions are function objects only. This is also an object. To specify or good programming practices, if a function starts with uppercase, so it is an indication telling that you should use this function as a constructor function, not like a normal function. So I'm not asking him to call like this. Okay. So avoid. This is to tell that don't call it like a function. Rather, you create an object here with a new keyword. This is one instance. So similarly, this is another instance. Okay, getting it. So when you have like this, for example, here, yeah. So similarly, here, yes, these two are instances. So what actually happens with this code? Let's go to the here. Now, first part, okay. These two lines alone I am explaining. Here, we have two objects now. Both of them have title, price, okay. So we have a title price. For the first one, JavaScript Unleashed 630 is there. Here Java complete reference is there with 400. So you can say JS is pointing to this, Java is pointing to this. So whenever I say java.title, it is going to give me this, java.price, it is going to give me this. So title and price are called as instance variables. Okay. Meaning every time you create an object, these members are created in the memory. Any questions on this so far? Okay. Yeah. So Vinayak again went out. Okay. Vinayak, you look like you're having lots of issues. Yeah.
Sorry.
Internet? Okay. Internet issue, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. You can tell someone that so to allow me. So if you have any one of you, ask your friend. You can raise your, because I can't keep looking at the chat. So you can just unmute and then tell me, sir, if somebody is having an internet issue, if I want to give them an access. Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Sorry about it.
Fine. Okay. No problem. That's it. Happens. Internet. Yeah. Okay. Any questions on this, guys? Okay. Do one thing. You can. Do you have any editors? So if you have a Sublime Text or Visual Studio Code, it will be useful. So you please, if you have Visual Studio Code, it will be useful. Have you downloaded that? Just take Visual Studio Code. It will take hardly few minutes. Okay. Code.Visual Studio, it will be in that website. Just search for Visual Studio Code. Shouldn't take much time. So we'll start coding and then I'll explain with the code. Okay. If you have installed, yeah. So I'll create, I'll say first example.html. So just create one file. I'll just call it as first example.html. Yes. Anyone needs to still downloading, or can we move on? Yeah. Okay. Now see this. Here, the best part of Visual Studio Code is most of the things what we generally type we don't want to do. If you just put an exclamation and press a tab, autocomplete will come. So you first create a file, save it as with any file name with an .html. So once you have a .html, exclamation and tab, so this basic stuff we don't want to keep coding. That's why it will autocomplete this skeleton code for this. Okay. Yeah. Next, here script tag, sorry, within body, we'll start writing script tag. Okay. Now let's start. Is this font okay? Yes.
Yes.
Now, okay. Now look, let's start looking at it. I'll start adding one by one. I'll take the same example, book, okay, title, price. Now see, this dot title equal to title, this dot price equal to price. Now, first I will explain object owned instance methods. Here, if I say this dot get title is equal to one function which is returning this dot title. Similarly, this dot get price, another function which returns this dot price. Very simple function. Now look at this here. Here, first book, I create a book instance with, okay, another instance. Okay. Now see, two books are created. Pretty simple, straightforward. Console.log b1.get title and get price. Okay, comma. This autocomplete sometimes will be a nuisance also. Yeah, B2. Now see this, two objects we have created. Look at this. Here, this is state. This is behavior, correct? We are adding a behavior here. Behavior are nothing but methods. It's a simple way of creating an object here. Any questions on this? This is called as object owned instance methods. Okay, object owned instance method. If I try to open this in my, okay, I'll try to open this in the Chrome. If I see it in the console, you can see the output of this. JS 600, React 800. Just check up to this. We'll move on adding other features into this object oriented. I'll not drag this. I'll keep it very simple. Okay. So first example. Yeah.
So I have a question here.
Yes.
Here the function is looking similar to class in that
Exactly.
Java or
Yes, sir.
another language.
Yes.
So is that function or class are different, or these behave same? Means that is a little confusing here.
In JavaScript, whether to create a function, a reusable code also, it is a function.
Okay.
To create objects also, it is a function. For both, two-in-one purpose here. So
Okay.
normally what easiest way to identify to be used as an object is within the function here, if you use this anywhere like
Okay.
this dot and all, that is
Yeah.
an indication like you should use this like a constructor for a
Yeah.
object. So
Yeah.
if I don't have this, okay. So you mean it has to be used like a normal function, like normal function how you call,
Yeah.
no? That is how it should be called. So it is two-in-one. That is why it becomes difficult when you have a huge lines of a code.
Mm.
That is the way conventions comes into the practice. So the specification tells, hey, better you start writing it with capital to tell that it is to be used like a constructor. If you start with a lowercase, you try to call it like a normal function.
Understood.
Got it? No.
Yeah.
So that is the way conventions plays a very important role.
Yeah. Yes.
Otherwise, how difficult it is. You will have to open libraries, check it out. Hey, should I call it like a class or should I use it like a function?
Yes.
So that
Yes.
is the whole idea of using conventions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that if it is lowercase, it wouldn't have worked. It would have worked. Here B,
Yeah.
here it would have worked. Correct. Yes. Okay. Any questions here? Now,
No.
this problem, look at this, guys. Now, here, the flow again goes like this. Execution phase, first time, global execution context. Again, when you create this, first time, this member is created, title, price. Let me go back to this here. In this case, for B1, we have title, price. This is this now. Here, get title, get price, function definition, function definition. For B2 also, we have a title, we have a price, get title, get price is there, function definition, function definition. Got it? So if you look at here, in the heap area, these functions, get title, is present here as well as here. Get price is present here as well as here. If you look inside this code, it is the same, no? Here as well as here. Okay. This is very heavy on the memory. You are eating up the heap area. Suppose if there are 1,000 books to be stored, 1,000 book instances. It's okay, understandable. Title and prices 1,000 times should be there because each one will have its own data. But get title function definition 1,000 times present in the heap area. Won't it eat away your heap area? Did you guys understand what I'm trying to tell? Yeah. So
Yes.
along with the state, JavaScript strangely is storing the function definition also 1,000 times, which is pretty heavy. So we don't do this. Sorry, I'll save this as, if you want, you can comment that itself. Second, now look at this. I'll remove this. Book dot prototype, I'll say dot get title. Okay. Now, there is a special property for a function called as a prototype. Okay. Prototype here. Now see the difference. State, I am adding it within the constructor. behavior I'm associating with prototype. So if you specify it as a prototype, sorry, for the first function book as a prototype property, prototype internally is having get title, get price. So only one copy will be there instead of repeatedly having this on the heap area. So for this function, I am telling, hey, in the heap area, store this only along with your prototype member. Do not make this function multiple copies. It makes sense to have multiple copies of title and price, but not functions. This we call it as class owned instance method. Output is not going to change. Got it? So definitely output is not going to change, but this definitely enhances the performance, especially when it comes to the heap area. You have one copy of get title, one copy of get price in the heap area because you are associating it with prototype. So prototype is a special property of a function to generally associate the behavior. Normally we use it. Okay. So irrespective of 1,000 books or 10,000 books, get title and get price will be one copy in the heap area, not for every object. Yeah, not for every object. So this is called as class owned instance methods. Okay, earlier it was object owned, means every object had its own copy of the function. Okay, so make a note on this also. The output I'm not going to execute, it's still the same.
One
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
How can we measure the heap area consumption from the browser? Do you have any?
Yes, there are many tools available. Okay, so if you start looking at here itself with the performance only, you'll get this. So you can have this. So you can start recording. First, you should start running the long running process. Can you see here?
Yes.
Memory is there. So actually, when you start recording, it keeps showing you. So, but this small code, you can't, if it's a long running program, maybe in the performance sometime later on when we go to the next part of our training, I'll simulate that and show you with our React and all. Okay, so clearly you can see here. So wonderful now, almost whether you talk about Chrome, Firefox, everyone has a built-in now. So yeah, to trace, so we don't need to depend on any third-party tools.
Understood.
Okay, yeah. Yes, got it. Now look at this. Please see, I'll just show you now. String dot prototype. Look at this.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, this Siri has started. Okay. Yeah, look at this here. Guys. These are all the functionalities of a string. Starts with, ends with, length, or for two uppercase, two lowercase, string. They're all functions of string. Can you see how they have added this anchor, big, fixed, ends with, and all? They have added it to prototype, no? Correct. Yeah. So that means they have used this mechanism to define a method. Got it? Is it clear? So if you see here, second example, for this also, book dot prototype. Can you see? Prototype has this constructor definition plus get title plus get price. Got it? Whereas in the first, here, book dot prototype, only constructor was there, the definition. Are you getting, guys? So if you see our book dot prototype as well as string dot prototype, so you can see that functionality is better. You add it here to the prototype, because you see, whenever you have a use case like many objects will be created, better add the methods to prototype, not directly within the constructor. Both works, output is still same. I want you to check it out. Or If you want me to share this, I can do that, or I'll just 1 second. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll just send it in the chat, guys. Here. Here. Is there anyone waiting? No. Okay. Just see both the examples I've shared in this GitHub location. At least for this training, you bookmark this, so you don't need to type everything. So first example and second example, I just pushed it already. I'll move to the next one. Just have a quick look at it. Any questions? And then we'll move on. Okay. Yeah. So hope you're clear with this.
Here.
Okay. Next. So this is one way of creating an object. Next, another way of creating an object is JSON. So JavaScript, this is very important for us. So for React and all, object notation. Okay. So what we do, this is an object. So curly brace object, we write it with this. Okay. Object contains key value pairs. So key value pairs wherein key can be the member or instance, key is an instance member. Value, as the name itself is, state. Value is the current state. So example, here you can have var p1 is equal to, or where I'll say product equal to title iPhone 11. Okay. Or okay. Price. Yeah. Now this is the state. You can also add the behavior like get details function which returns this dot title this dot get price. See, product is a singleton object. Look at this. Here we go for this approach or this approach only in a scenario wherein you want to create n number of objects. So my use case says, hey, I may be creating n number of objects, but each object has its own state and behaviors, functionalities are there. Prefer this. Okay. If it is a singleton object, you just put a curly brace. This is an object. Product is one instance of an object which is having state and behavior. Very rarely we use JSON if you want to add behavior. Normally JSON is used only if you want to capture the state. If you want to capture the behavior, recommended approach is like this, what we saw earlier. Okay, even though both works, got it? Even though both works, if you have behaviors, do not go for JSON. Very rarely we go for JSON. Okay. If it is a very less behavior, like one behavior, that's okay. But if you have too many methods, you don't go on adding it like this. So here in JSON, key is always a string. So even if you don't give here also, it's absolutely fine. It accepts. Value can be, so can be string, number, Boolean, undefined, okay, null, okay, array, or object. Any of this can be a value. Okay, got it? Any questions on that? So here we have taken, or it could be a function also, as in this case, get details. Now, once you have this, so usage wise, it is pretty same as what we did earlier. Okay, now look at this here. Next, using here proto for prototypal inheritance. Okay, see where mobile is equal to this is an object. So connectivity, I'll say 4G. Then proto, I will say product. Okay, now see this. I'll show you here itself in the browser. After that, we can execute it. So I don't want to take one more example. First, I'll show you here. I created a product, mobile. Okay, mobile dot, I think I made a mistake. Any mistake here? That's okay. Proto is not taking.
Double underscore will be there. Photo.
Double underscore, is it? Yeah, sorry. No. It is there. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Now look at this. I'll take this out. And this is the one. I think I made some mistake there. Mobile has a title, but it is not giving me. Some mistake I'm doing. Is it? Wait, one mistake. Let me just check it out. Syntax. If I'm doing any mistake. Correct, okay.
So it will be double underscore,
Double underscore, is it?
proto, yes. For proto, you're typing only one underscore.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay. So first, take this. Yes. Yeah, sorry. Thanks, sir. Okay. Now get details. Yes, see this. Look at this here. I created a product here. Product as a state, title, price, get details. Mobile has connectivity. Now I want to say here, mobile inherits from product. How do you do it? By using two underscores proto, correct? Yes. So to this proto, okay, proto is nothing but actually a way to inherit. So we specify, actually products proto is object. If you see products proto, it actually inherits from the product. So product dot proto. Now see this. It is actually, now this one is also having, please see this product, it is having an object here. So product is inherited from object. Similarly, what we say is mobile is inherited from product. If you want to say, you just specify it as a proto. What happens here is, whatever is the state and behavior of a product is inherited into mobile. Got it? Is it clear? So now mobile will have title, price, get details, as well as connectivity. The thing here is prototypal inheritance is for object. Note the difference, guys. In Java, C++, you would have given it on the inheritance on the template, like class level inheritance. Here it is not class, here object inheritance. So there is a difference between class inheritance and object inheritance. There we used to say class mobile extends product. Then each time you create an object of a mobile, it used to get the characteristics of a product as well as a mobile. Here it is object based. Here this is object A, object B. This object is inheriting from the first object. Okay. So here it is object level inheritance, prototype inheritance, not at the class level. Okay. So just check it out. I'll send this in the chat itself. Okay. I'll push it in the chat only. This plus this. Okay, then you can get title, get details also. Okay. So just check it out. Yeah, I've shared it. You can just paste it in the browser or in the notepad and then check it out, differences. Any questions, if you have, let me know. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
Here also we to have class level inheritance also in JavaScript, right? I mean,
No. Class level inheritance is, that is in ES6 we have extends keyword and all, like very much similar to that. But ES5 we have only prototypal inheritance here.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Even in fact, even for this also, let me explain that. If you want to go into this, see, it looks like a class level, but it is not. I'll show that function product. If I want to simulate the same thing, is a title price, correct? So wherein this dot title equal to title and this dot price, we have a price. So then if I have product dot prototype. Do not confuse this prototype with that proto. So that proto is actually a prototype, but for inheritance. This is a function property. Get details here. So whatever code, let me leave this as it is. Then if I write a function mobile, okay, mobile takes title, price, then connectivity. Here I'll just say this dot connectivity equal to connectivity. Okay, now we can say mobile dot prototype equal to new product. We'll have to just, this is how we do it. Then we say mobile dot prototype dot constructor is equal to mobile, we'll have to say. Now see this strange way. Now see this. Now when I say new mobile title iPhone with followed by 4G, this comes here, connectivity is there, but there is no chaining to this as of now. No chaining to this. I'll come to that chaining part. Okay. Then if I take here where m equal to like this, are you getting? Then I can say m dot title will come, m dot price you can access it, m dot get details will come, you can invoke it, plus m dot connectivity. Here also, if you look at it carefully, here I am telling new product here. Look at it, I'm not just giving product. So you should have an object. So this only when you have an object, from the object we inherit here, like in this case. Can you see? This itself is an object. No, JSON is an object. So for this proto, you are adding the product, mobile inherits from the product, plus he has a connectivity. Getting? So very much similarly here also, mobile's prototype, you are telling product. What actually happens if you don't give this is, when you create here new, actually this constructor is what is invoked, not the mobile constructor, because when you say prototype, constructor will be copied from here. Are you clear?
Okay, yeah.
So we'll have to say, hey, I don't know. Yes, of course, I copied the constructor from the product, but I don't want that. I have my own constructor. You will have to tell him. If you don't tell him, then whenever you say new, it will go and invoke this constructor.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
Is it clear? Now, from here, you want to invoke this constructor, correct? Chaining?
Yes.
What I do, product, because I don't have the object now, I will say call. Explicitly, I'll have to pass this is the context, correct?
Yes.
Hey guys, when you say new mobile, this within this refers to M, correct? M is the context.
Yes.
Then I will have to pass on title and price.
Okay.
Following?
Yes.
Got it, no? So
yeah.
This is a mechanism where you chain a constructor of the base class.
Yeah.
I can't call it like this. So I can't call it like a normal function like this, because it is supposed to be an function constructor, not a method. If it was a normal method, I would have called like this, correct?
Yes.
Getting it, no? So context, when you invoke and create an object, context is there. Through context, you will have to invoke it. So very difficult straight away, but let us have a quick look, like here, quick look at it. So first, this is pretty simple inheritance using proto, correct?
Yeah.
And 2 underscore proto is pretty simple. But if you have something like a function constructor, how am I going to inherit is, this is the mechanism. So you write that first one as is, okay? Then you say mobile prototype. You create the object that automatically takes whatever is there in the product will be carried on to mobile prototype. Then if you have copied it, then problem here is here at this point of time, after this point of time, mobile will be a replica of product. Agreed? After 250, what is there in the product? Everything you have it in a mobile.
Yes.
Then 250th line we are telling, if you don't do the 250th line, my constructor is still this.
Yes.
It has two states. Here we say, now I have my own constructor that is mobile, which internally introduces a new state called as connectivity. So now mobile not only has title, price, it also has a connectivity. Got it? Yes. This is how you do a prototypal inheritance using the function constructor. Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions on this inheritance? Of course, ES6 simplified it a lot. Yeah, very simple like C++, Java and all. You just write a class, extend it as a simple flow. But internally, if you see that code, you will. This is how it will get converted. So at the end of it, engine understands only this code. It doesn't understand class. It doesn't understand the actual inheritance. This is how a code looks like. Okay. Yeah. Anyone has any questions here? Okay, before I move on.
One question. If I add get details in the mobile variable.
Yes, you can. Overrides.
Yeah. Okay.
See, people don't understand JavaScript as object oriented. They say, hey, where the hell is JavaScript object oriented and all? All the concepts are there. What only thing is you will have to know, like, so until unless you go deep, it gives you whatever any OOP gives, everything is available. So if you are right here, same thing that overrides. Okay. Got it.
In
Yeah.
the JSON object, there is no property prototype.
Yeah. that is why I said prototype is a special property of a function.
Okay.
It comes with a function.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That was the reason I told you here. This one is prototype is a function property. Okay.
Okay.
You can add a member, you can inherit and all you can have. So one more small thing here. Let me take var. So more on the call and apply, because this will be using it extensively in React. I don't want you to struggle there. So var, I'll say product, or I'll take this only. Now, I just take this, guys. I want you to try this out. Product is there. Then I will say, what else is there? Okay. I'll say mobile here instead of product. At the end of the day, this whole script will be pushed to the GitHub. You can have a look at it. Whatever you're not tried, also you can execute it. Title, here also we have title. So React in action. Okay. This is also having price. Okay. Okay. Now look at this. Mobile and book, they are two different objects. Agreed? It's a coincidence wherein you have, okay, we have something like publisher, something like this extra. Okay. Now here, yeah. Once we understand the basics, everything else is pretty simple. We can go on having. Okay. Now I have a function. Come on. Print console.log title or this dot title this dot price. I want to print both of them. Now see this. Does this print belong to mobile or does it belong to book?
No.
It neither belongs to mobile nor
Yes.
book, correct?
Correct.
Correct. But inside that I'm using a this. Correct, no?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, please see this. Here, if I give, instead of title, if I had given name, now this will give me the name of this browser here, title, whatever you're given here. That would have come. Because we told about global context, no? Do you remember morning we started with global context? This
Window.
refers to the window, correct? So if you have any window related things, it would have come here. So window related things it will print. But now I want to print the name of the mobile or the book of the mobile. So this is where the special functions will come into the picture. Print dot call. Call. I want to see, I'm not invoking it like this. This is the invoking of a method. So instead of that, sorry, call on which one? Book. Okay. I will specify this or I can pass a mobile here. Okay. Or let me take here update function. Update so that you can know n comma p. So that will be better for you. This dot name equal to name. Well, this dot price equal to price instead of printing. I will pass a book JS book 500. Let's take this. I'll show this and I'll share this. Sorry. Yeah. I just pasted here. Which line is having a problem?
Name is a key. Mobile name.
It's not taking that. Each one has its own. This should work actually. Somewhere else I have done a mistake. Print.call is update, no?
Update.call, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Anyways, back to this. I've already added that update.call. Now book dot name. Can you see it is modified, no? Have a look at it. I'm calling this with the context. First argument is the context, book. Suppose if I pass this here with mobile. So I will say Oppo 3500. Now look at this. Within this function, this dot name refers to mobile's name. Earlier, this dot name refers to book. So that way you can have a functionality at runtime, you can bind it to any context. That is where call comes into the picture. So we'll see this call extensively when we get into React application. That is why I don't want you to get struggle there. What is the call? What is apply and all? Did you get this, guys? As of now, when you just have this function, this refers to the global context. That is nothing but the window. So window has a name, window has a price, it'll update. Got it? Here I am invoking this function dot call, which context, then data is passed. Okay. So inside this dot name first refers to book. Next time this dot name refers to mobile. So any questions on this? If it is clear, I'll explain one more.
Clear.
Okay. Next, here, look at this here. Next, update dot apply book, comma. Only thing here is, So you will pass all this as an array. This is another syntax. Both work same way. Apply has two arguments. First is the context. Second is an array of arguments. Call, you will have to explicitly pass all the arguments one by one, a comma b comma c and all. Here I can just put it into an array, all the arguments into an array, and pass that array reference here. Got it? So as in ARR, I can have var ARR is equal to like this. Okay. Apply will always take two arguments. That is var args, we call it as variable number of arguments. So simple suggestion, if you know the number of arguments, if it is less number of arguments, blindly go ahead and use call. If the function takes too many arguments, prefer using an apply. At the end, the result is still same, whether call or apply, the way, the mechanism it is going to work is still same. Okay. So know the difference between call and apply?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now one more thing. See this. I want you to try this out and tell me what actually happened. Okay, I'll share this, but I want you to let me know what happens. Print function console.log this.name this.price. Okay, that's enough. So let's see this. First, I'll show you the output. Then I want you to do one variation, mobile.print. I got the output, absolutely fine, correct? Now, see this. Here, var fn is equal to mobile.print. These are all few important things in JavaScript gotchas, we say, so where we struggle. And these are all normal things which happens in even when we get into any Angular or React, common mistakes. That's why I'm just emphasizing. Now, what actually happens here at the 295 line? What is fn? What does fn contain?
Reference.
Reference, correct. Does it contain the output or the reference?
Reference.
Reference. So if I say fn of is fn, now you are executing this, correct?
Yes, correct.
Correct. Okay. Try this out, guys. Then, of course, I'm making you lazy, so you will you just paste this in your Chrome browser console and see what actually is happening. And one of you can tell me what is the problem or what is it working fine. Sorry. Just let me know. Did you get the output?
Saying undefined.
Undefined.
Why is it?
Undefined for me.
Yeah, for everyone it is undefined only. Why is this happened? Now,
This.
yeah, look at this.
It's just, yeah.
So when the context is created, yeah, this function, actually the declaration is put on the heap area. It is just the instructions there. When you get here, you get that function definition alone into fn, but context is not there. Got it? This function which is there on the heap area doesn't actually hold the context. You got only the function definition from here. But if I use here mobile.print, here, what is before the period operator is the context. Now it knows this means it is of that of a mobile. Correct. But when you retrieve without invoking, when you retrieve, it just gives me this function what was there in the E period. The definition alone you copied here, but not the context. Context is lost. Got it? I'm telling me, give me the print definition of this particular mobile, gets the function definition, put it here. So here, this is fine. Here we get undefined. Hope it is clear now. Now what I okay, is it working? Perfect. Okay, now let me see what we have done. Yes, you got undefined. Now let me come back to this dot bind to mobile. Now I'll again come back. Now look at this. You're getting it back now. So earlier we just gave mobile dot print. It got me only this function definition. Now we are telling when you retrieve this function definition, have this context also. So to which object it belongs? Hold on, this means it is now mobile only. So retain the context. I'm telling bind is basically to retain the context here. If you don't use the bind, the context is lost. Okay, is it clear? Are you getting it? So bind is a way to retain a context there. Very, very important in React also. So we'll be using this extensively, like call, bind, these methods and all. So don't get confused there. That's why I'm just starting with the simple examples now. Okay. So bind is a way to retain the context. Okay. Yeah.
Also,
Check it
like
out.
we can call this using like fn.call and pass the mobile or the
Yes,
context.
yes,
Right?
yes.
So then bind and both the call does the essentially the same
Yes,
thing. Right?
that's what call, apply, bind. We are end target is output. What we are achieving is same, different mechanism. But the use cases, depending on different use cases, you may you have to use call, apply, and all.
Yes.
So something like a straightforward. If I use a bind, in my code may become easy going forward. Correct? No. Calling, otherwise n number of places I need to keep calling, call, passing arguments and all. Correct? Yes. So yes, that is why I am giving you all the three, or otherwise I would have skipped one or two and then showed you only one. So same thing, we have achieved it in three different ways. Got it? So only looking at the use case, you will have to decide, hey, does this call fit here properly, or apply fits here properly, or bind? Got it?
Yes.
That's what I said. JavaScript is too vast. See, we create objects like this. We use class, we use constructor pattern. There are so many ways. Depending on the use cases, you will have to see which is the right way to go about. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Check this out. Bind also. So these are some of the things which you need to know. Okay. Yeah. Any questions so far? Yeah.
No.
So we just had a quick look at different ways of creating an object, understanding the context also. Now look at this here. I can bind it to book also. Yes. See, even though the function we got it from the mobile, if I bind it to book, I'm going to get these two details, not these details. Got it? Got it? You can bind it to some other objects also. Yeah. Even though the definition was present in mobile, I can invoke it on book also, as long as book also has the name and a price. Yeah. Check it out. Any questions if you have, please let me know. Yeah. So quick recap. Different ways of creating object. Okay. Then JSON, then constructor. So we saw three ways of creating an object. Okay. So if you have a very small object to be done with adding properties, only few things you can go ahead and use this. So, okay, very rarely we use the first one. I'll tell that also. Now, here this is use this in most cases if only state is there. Okay, like carriers of data. So from one functionality to another functionality, if I want to pass on the data, prefer this JSON. So use this if we have behavior. If you don't have behavior, JSON is good enough. Now let me show you. Normally, if I have this, where obj is equal to object.create mobile. Generally, we use this to clone. Okay, obj is a copy of it. Now look at this here. So first, let me take this, refresh this. Guys, if you are getting any confusion or anything not understanding, what happened? Some mistake is there. Why is it giving me an error or definition? Okay, I think the full, I'll take it here. I think they're already code. Can you find any property description must be an object? iPhone is giving a problem for iPhone. Is it? The dot create is having a problem. It's working, but I wanted to. Okay. Yeah. So this is working, but I wanted to use this or object create syntax. I like to just check it. Okay, so look at this here. OBJ is a clone of mobile. Got it? So there are two different objects. Okay, so generally in such cases we use object. This is a factory method. So clone to clone. Yeah, this is called as a factory method. Okay. You pass one object, from that object you are creating another object. So that is what is cloning here. Got it? Any questions, guys? Yeah. Guys. Okay.
No.
Okay, fine. I think a new object, let me try another way. New var no equal to new object. Here, if I give, what is that? Mobile? No, not taking. No. No. I think some mistake I'm doing. Okay. So let it be like this time being. So this is just for a cloning. Yeah. Any questions so far? Now, what we'll do is, So we just looked at different ways of creating object. Good enough. I'll just push this entire thing to the Git, whatever we have done so far. Yeah, all of you have the link to this Git?
Yes.
Okay, so I just pushed it. So what we'll do is post lunch, I'll start looking at functional style of a programming and other details today. ES6 and all will finish it off. So tomorrow we have only Node.js to cover, only few things like this. First 2 days only basics before we get into React. Okay, so take this. So just I pushed everything to the Git. Have a look at it, guys. So 1 hour lunch break. After the lunch break, we'll see more on the functional style of a programming, which is very important for us going forward. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So we can disconnect, right? And then you will again
Yes.
let us in.
Yes. You can.
Okay.
Okay. You can disconnect.
So we will connect at 2.
2 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.